Okay, Sistas fans, look, just to be upfront, I did a short about this. I'm not scoring this week's episode. I don't think I should score episodes anymore until an actual good episode happens, because of the fact that at this rate, I would be like at negative 125 by the end of the season, and we only have 3 episodes left. But this episode, I did not like it. The only part I feel like I actually liked, even though I didn't like the setup, I don't like the fact that Bio was willing to pay Maurice's bail. I don't like that one bit. But I did like seeing Sabrina happy, because we've barely seen, during the first part of the season, we saw her at the end of the first episode, then she showed up towards the mid-season finale locked up, and then she eventually got out, and then after that, she's been depressed the whole time. So to see her being happy for once, it was a nice change of pace. Then that got thrown out the window when she sniffed those bed sheets, and that was just a nasty, creepy scene that I did. Yeah, it kind of killed it for me. Like, the one thing I did like about the episode just got slaughtered when Bio said he'd be willing to pay the bill. So yeah, I'm not scoring the episode. Also, I didn't do a live Wednesday because I guess the YouTube algorithm probably saw my tweet about going off, and as a result, it wasn't working. I tried to go live, but then nobody could hear me. I tried 7 more times. I restarted my modem. I restarted my computer. Hell, I even tried on my phone, and it kept saying YouTube Live not available now, or it just kicked me out of the app altogether. So somebody must not have liked what I was about to say, because I was about to go all the way off in my live stream. Fatima is horrible. That's basically it. I could just end the video right there, because not much to talk about. I think this episode had so many wasted scenes, just the same old, same old. Let me just sum it up real quick. Alright, so first of all, Karen is just the biggest hypocrite. I mean, her whole thing in the episode at the beginning was talking down to Andy. And then later on, the next morning, she was having breakfast with Aaron. You know, she was going into work. Apparently, she's finally having the morning sickness. She's been feeling nauseous. So instead of breakfast, she's going to pick up a shake near the salon. And, you know, she asked if Aaron is okay. She's sorry about the fight and everything that went down. Aaron's like, don't worry about it. But she does say something in regards to, oh, are you going to still be playing at the basketball court? Are you still going to be seeing Zach? Because, you know, be careful. What do you mean be careful? Well, I know Zach, and when he has an idea in his head of him being wronged, he's not going to let go of it. He's going to, you know, act aggressive and whatnot. Oh, and you don't, Karen? You don't have a warped sense of being a victim? And if you feel you've been wronged or betrayed by someone, you don't act funny? Wow. Then from there, you know, back at the penthouse, really it's just a Karen Fatima face off. Andy tries to stand. Andy, while I appreciate her for trying to stand up for herself, it really didn't go that far, because Karen was really the domineering force of that entire conversation. Go back and watch it. You could just see the difference between Fatima and Karen in terms of how they view their friendship with Andy. You have Fatima, who feels ashamed of her actions and whatnot. And then you have Karen, whose face says, yeah, you can talk. I ain't do a damn thing wrong. Or at the very least, I'm not admitting to anything. She did come over to apologize for how she went off at Andy. But it's kind of weird because, yet again, after Fatima leaves, and trust me, I am not done with Fatima. After she leaves, Karen is like, so, I came over here to apologize. Okay, good. It's all right. So, are we cool? Yeah. You're not going to hold on to this and start acting funny, because you know how you do. And I'm thinking, again, Karen, you're trying to call out Andy for holding on to something because she was hurt by someone and then acts funny as a result? Wow. Yeah, right. Karen, you never do that. You never hold on to things. You never act funny towards people who you feel you've wronged. Self-righteous whore. Get the hell out of here. I wish Andy would have kicked her ass out. All right. What was it? She basically has to face off with Fatima. Is there really anything to say here? The promo just spoils it all. The fact that she was mad, she agrees that Zach handled the situation badly. But then Karen is like, well, I hugged and kissed the father of my child, basically confirming Zach did nothing wrong. It was Karen who did all of this. Also, for people like, oh, what about when Zach handed Karen that check at the salon, the $72,000 check, and then, he left to go pursue Fatima. He kissed her on the cheek. How come he could get closure, but Karen couldn't? Zach wasn't engaged when he did that, you dipshit. He and Fatima weren't even engaged at that point. They were loosely in a relationship. There is a major difference. Karen did that shit to mark territory. That's what it was. Zach did it as a form of closure. But guess what? Karen just came on back afterwards. So stop being like, you don't call out Zach. You don't give him the same level of sternness you give the women on the show. Your sex is shut the hell up. Damn, I'm tired of people like that. All right. So there is really nothing accomplished here. Fatima just basically says, I'm going home to talk to Zach. She does not do that. She gets home. Zach is sleeping on the damn couch. And then as soon as Fatima walks in, oh my God, you're back. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm thinking to myself, no. He is doing everything but just getting on the floor and kissing her feet, saying, please come back, baby. What does Fatima do the moment she comes through the door? Remember, she told Andy and Karen, well, I'm going to go talk to Zach. Oh, yeah, Andy did say, hey, well, Fatima, because I think Karen came over there to talk to Andy, and it's like, yeah, Fatima, can you leave? Because I actually came here to talk to Andy. Andy's like, no, she's actually staying here for the night. And I know Karen's like trying to dismiss Fatima like it's her house, or that's the one thing that's one of the things I hate about the show. Not only do these women or characters in general pop up to other people's houses or apartments unannounced, but they feel like when they come in, the person or persons who were, especially when it's the male characters, let's say one of the Sabrina has a man over. Oh, Danny comes in, so the man has to leave. What kind of shit is that? Okay, basically, you have Andy's terrible debate skills. I'm like, Andy, you can't handle Karen by standing your ground. You're an attorney. I went back to watch some scenes from season 1. I was getting clips and dialogue and evidence for other theory videos I was working on, and I'm like, I remember when Andy was a competent character aside from her love life. And I'm like, why don't you take that ruggedness, that sternness, and take it and be more assertive? But you have Karen, who is, just so cold-hearted that she doesn't really care. Even when Andy is rightfully standing up for herself, Karen's going to just smack her down. But then again, all the women do this to the men, so either way works. But in any case, back to Zach. He is apologizing, saying, oh, I'm sorry for what I said. I was mad. Well, look, I get that, Zach, but that doesn't mean you get to talk to me crazy like that. And then Zach rightfully says, but Fatima, look, yeah, I'm sorry for what I said, but Fatima, you were talking to me crazy too. This heifer just brushes it aside. She acts like that statement never even was said. What does she do? She moves the conversation to something else. Look, I just came to get some clothes and then I'm leave. Or look, can you stay? Look, I'll spend the night, but I'm just going to think about it. I'm just going to think about staying. But you're staying on the couch. Who the hell do you think you are? Who the hell do you think you are? And then Zach, fine, yeah, I'll stay on the couch as long as you stay, for the night. And then as she's going upstairs, but hey, but if you change your mind about me coming up there, then you can always, good night, Zach. I love you. She doesn't say it. Guys, I hate Fatima. I would say that I would just say that I hate the way Fatima's being written, but I hate Fatima. You literally learn that Zach did nothing wrong. You learned this damn photo that all this shit started over was not what it appeared to be. Karen, to your face, told you I hugged and kissed the father of my child. Zach didn't kiss her. Then, kind of in a show of, well, Karen, you don't bother me. I'm going home to talk with my man. You don't even talk to Zach. You came in there, I'm just getting some clothes, and then I'm leaving. There wasn't even going to be a conversation until Zach groveled. You go off about feeling less than a partner. Zach, you kept saying my house. It just made me feel like you didn't even want me here, like it's not ours. Yet you're acting like a domineering bitch, telling Zach what he's going to do. You're going to sleep on the couch. You're going to admit what you did wrong. You're going to not talk to me crazy when you're the one who started all this shit. We get to the next damn morning. Look, if you don't want to hear me rant, I'm going to unsubscribe. Go. I'm not even going to say sorry because my reviews are how I feel. And I feel like this is some bullshit. We get to the next morning. This went exactly as I thought it would. You know, I did a video on it. I said, why is Zach apologizing to Fatima? And then I did a short, I hope Fatima apologizes to Zach. In the promo, Zach is like, none of this works without you here. Gives her offers her a cup of coffee. She takes it. And when Zach wants to talk. Oh yeah, I forgot to even mention the previous night. He was like, look, you always running and all. Again, when he tries to confront Fatima for her own actions and whatnot, she doesn't want to face up to him. Zach wants to talk about last night. Oh, I got to get to work. Fatima, you're running. No, I'm not. You ain't got to be at work this morning. You just don't want to have the conversation. It's not a conversation. You know what it is? Fatima's self-righteous ass wants Zach to say what he did wrong again. Look, I'm sorry for what I did. What did you do? Well, you already know. Well, I mean, unless you say it, then I won't know that you won't do it again. This man is putting his heart out there. I'm sorry for this, and this. The only thing he did wrong was take his ass down to that restaurant and start to fight. Fatima was the one who shoved the phone in his face. Fatima was the one who wouldn't even listen to his claims of innocence. Fatima was the one that was raising her voice, talking all crazy, cursing at him. Fatima was the one that grabbed him by the arm. And then later on after the fight, instead of realizing, wow, if Zach went through all that just to, confront Karen, he might actually be innocent. No. What did she do? Patronized him. Said he was sleeping on the couch. Left in a fury, shoved him in the face. Brought up her damn ex again. Yelled at him for talking at her crazy and thinking, and don't act like I'm crazy. And you're acting crazy as hell. But no, she's going to condescendingly look at him I felt basically it's like a parent catching their kid doing something wrong. And then it's like, tell me what you did wrong. Well, I was in the kitchen and you didn't tell me. You told me not to go in the kitchen. And then what? And I'm sorry. Sorry for what? For eating the cookie even though you said not to have it. And I'm just like, this grown man is being reduced to this for Fatima. They don't have conversations, guys. They don't. It's Fatima making Zach fess up to how he fucked up when he did nothing wrong. No apologies from her for putting hands on him, for not believing him. Then Tyler has this man go, hey, I put in the call. I want to have your name added to the deed. He is bending over backwards because he's so sorry for making Fatima feel like less than a fiance, less than a partner, less than an half owner and everything. He's willing to put her name on the deed. They aren't married. She ain't paid for shit. She accepted his invitation. What the hell did Tyler do with these characters? What the fuck did he do with these characters? I do not like this at all. So then Fatima decides to flip the nice switch. No, Zach, you don't need to put my name on the deed. Just don't make me feel like less. How does Fatima have the audacity to keep getting on Zach? You made me feel like less. You said my house. You want to be partners. You want to be half and half. You cannot be partners when you're the one barking out orders. It doesn't work that way. Moving on. She says, oh, I got a call from my girl. You're going to get a call from Heather because have you talked with Heather? No, I haven't. She's been ducking and dodging me ever since she got that lawsuit filed with Hayden. Oh, she's going to give you a call today. What do you mean? I got somebody that's going to drop, Heather from Hayden. She's going to, raise hell and, that's going to set Hayden off. Oh, you sure about that? Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. You on my side. Well, I wouldn't be doing all that if I still didn't want to be with you, Zach. I could be a good girl. And yeah, okay, whatever. So she goes all to work and, Zach still wants to talk about it later. He's like, look, we'll have lunch later. I don't know, Zach. I don't want to take this to work. Well, I'll be in the lobby. I'll be waiting on you. I love you. He had to drag an I love you out of Fatima. All right. So, let's see here. Maurice oh yeah. I already talked about it. Bio calls Sabrina, asked to come over. She says give her 30 minutes. She goes to tell Calvin about it because he's in bed. We had this lengthy scene for no reason of Calvin being jealous of, oh, you inviting him over. Sabrina has made it clear she said she doesn't love Calvin. She doesn't want to be in an exclusive relationship. This was just an extended scene of nothing. There really is nothing to say here. Calvin's like, look, this isn't just about Maurice. And it's like, look, it's not about me and Bio. It's just a meeting about Maurice. No, look, this is a meeting about yourself too. There was no need for this exchange. Calvin, she ain't feeling you. Get your ass out of there. So Bio comes over and he says he'll give her the money. And that's pretty much it. Sabrina calls Andy. Look, I already talked about the positives, about her being happy. She calls Andy. Andy's curious about who gave up the money, but, obviously she can't tell because he's sitting right there. A very special, a very good friend. Wonderful man. So, yeah, Andy's like, hey, if you can give me his phone number, I will contact him and, talk about the necessary steps to get the money to get Maurice out. I will let you know something as soon as I get into work. And then as soon as she gets off the phone, Bio and Sabrina go out to, breakfast. Because he doesn't want to have a princess driving, he'll do it himself. And I don't know if Bio's actually driving, if he have his driver, but basically go out to breakfast. And Gary and Andy have bathroom talk. Oh yeah, also the previous night, Gary is on the phone with Hayden about the money thing. It turns out that Gary has a friend who works in like wire transfers and whatnot, and it turns out some gangster gave Robin the money, and Hayden recognizes the name from a client that Andy had. And Hayden knows that person's brother, so he'll get in contact and see if he can figure out what's going on. Gary calls Andy about coming over, and then I gotta go to work tomorrow, but come over anyway. So then the next morning they're in the bathroom. Gary doesn't like the fact that Andy gave Robin a hookup with the money. And I don't like that guy around you. And Andy rightfully says, what happened to the calm, confident Gary that wasn't worried about any other man swooping in? Oh, he's still here. I'm just, I don't really see why Tyler still wastes time with these two. We know they aren't in game because it doesn't really make sense. I don't know. Gary wants to leave a bag here like he lives here, and Andy's like, no, and then they leave to go to work. There really isn't much to say. One thing, Cheeto knows how to rock a damn suit. I will give him that. Gary is slimy as hell, but the man knows how to rock a suit. And Andy reveals this whole thing about planning to make partner. She's already a partner. Season 2, episode 8. Timestamp between the 9-minute mark and the 14-minute mark. She has a sit down with Hayden and one of the big wigs at the company after she is able to clear her name from the scandal involving Bellamy, Jasmine, and Morris. Andy is already a partner. Also, no, Jeremy, maybe she's lying to Gary about making partner. That way she can use that as a cover for really helping out Robin. She didn't do it in terms of self-interest. She actually did it to save Robin. Gary is involved with the company now. I'm pretty sure he will be aware of who the partners are. Next scene. Maurice calls Calvin. He'll let him know if he hears anything about Bio. That's pretty much it. Also, in the last episode, didn't Sabrina tell Maurice she already asked Bio for help, but he said no? So why is Calvin even saying anything to him about it? Because he doesn't even know? I mean, hell, if I remember correctly, over the phone, Bio said, hey, can I come over to talk? I had some more questions. But then, Sabrina assumed that it had to do with Maurice and then told Calvin. So now he's telling Maurice something that he doesn't even have solid confirmation about. But all he says is call me back in an hour. Hopefully Sabrina tells me something. And he talks about his new sexy roommate, and Calvin just warns him to be careful. And that's about it. Okay, then, wow, damn, this is the last scene. Danny and Q are in bed. I'm going to assume they had sex. I mean, she asked if he had a condom, but when he wakes up, she put a barrier between them, and then she asked him to go. But, I did like the moment where Q began to ask, oh, so this is what you do? And I will give Mignon this. I did like the acting from her in this scene, because the moment Q's like, is this what you do? Look at Danny's face. I feel like she was silently having a PTSD moment from Jonah, because he kind of said the same thing. Oh, you turn men on and then you just kick them out. I see how this shit is, bitch. But no. Q was like, so this is what you do. You hit it and quit it. And I'm like, yeah, that's what this heifer does. But long story short, he does actually get her to let him take a shower, and he goes take a shower. That's it. And I think Preston actually calls before Sabrina comes in and asks if he could stop by. But remember, he said he was leaving for the night. He'll come back in the morning before he goes back to Texas. But then that eventually leads to, I will talk to you later, when he said he was going back to Texas that morning. Oh, well, because we know why he didn't. See, this would have been the third time if he popped over unannounced that Danny had another man at the apartment. First, it was the bartender from the Pride Bar. Then it was El Fuego. And now it would have been Q. But he wants to marry her. Sabrina comes in happy as hell about the Bio situation, and then, getting Maurice out, she smells a dude on the bed sheets, and Q comes out. Uh-oh. That's the end of the episode. Look, I'm sorry if I'm being a bit aggressive. I just don't like how Tyler has been writing these characters. Honestly, if it wasn't for the ad revenue, I would take a week break from Sistas. Just a week break. But since the season is almost over, I got to capitalize on these views. And there's only 3 weeks left. I hope Zatima's better. I'm honestly really just going to treat that show as its own thing, because I need a break from the Fatima we've been seeing in Sistas Season 5. I don't like her. So, with that being said, like and subscribe. Follow me on social media. I will talk to you in the next one.